Before starting the video, I want to introduce you to a great product with 12 certified organic herbs that cleans your mind and body. A package of these lasts for a week and it's delicious. And another great thing is that while you're drinking it, the tea is cleaning your body and you're losing weight from all the trash that we have in our stomach. We also have more organic products that are great for your health. For more information about the product, you can go to this TikTok that appears on the screen. And to get the tea or any of these products, you can go to any of these 3 web pages. I will also leave the link for the pages down below in the description. And if you want more information about the products, or if you want to distribute it, you can send me an email or a DM through my Instagram. Hi, I'm Berlyn, and if this is your first time in my channel, don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a video. Yes, you, and you. A friend from the channel asked me to do a video talking about whether we are in the last days or not. And indeed, we are. Yes, we are living in the last days. And I know that millions of people have heard about this throughout their lives. To be more accurate, for about 2,000 years ago, this has been heard. But right now, we are in the last days because we can see that some of the prophecies have been fulfilled. Let's go to Matthew 24. Jesus answered, "Watch out that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, claiming I am the Messiah, and will deceive many." We have already lived this, since many people have come out saying that they are Christ and that they have returned to earth. Some of these people don't say that they are the real Messiah, which in that case it would be the Antichrist, because the real Messiah is Christ. These people just say that they are Christ that came back, which is different because we know the qualities that the Antichrist must have. And I explained this better in the last video called "Is the Pope the Antichrist?", which is really interesting. I'm gonna leave it right here for you. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. We've already lived this, because how many times have we not heard of wars and rumors of wars? Like, for example, World War I, World War II, and then all the other conflicts that the nations have had, and that it always alarms us, thinking that we're about to enter a World War III and stuff like that, you know? So we've heard about that. We've heard about wars and rumors of wars, and that's something that's not gonna change, I believe. Like, we're still gonna be living it until Christ comes. Like, for example, the conflict that's taking place right now in Israel and Gaza. We don't know if that's gonna turn out to a World War III if other countries enter the conflict and they back up Israel, and then some other countries back up Gaza. So you really don't know what's gonna happen. Or probably it's just a conflict that's gonna stay like that, and it's not gonna turn into a world war. Nation will rise against a nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains. Here it's mentioning events that we've already experienced. Famines, earthquakes, pests. Of course, there are still pests and famines and earthquakes happening around the world, but it's something that we have already lived. And like I said, with the wars, it's something that we have already lived, and probably we're gonna continue living it until Jesus Christ comes again. At that time, if anyone says to you, "Look, here's the Messiah," or "There he is," do not believe it, for false messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. See, I have told you ahead of time. What he's saying right here, it's very important, because in these days there's not gonna be any visible miracles as before. Satan will be performing those miracles to deceive the nations. That's why Christ says in the Bible, "Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed." But well, we already know that we have lived these things, and probably we're gonna continue to live them until Jesus Christ comes again. But there's something that I want to talk to you guys about that's happening right now, and that it's something that we're all experiencing at the moment, the pandemic. One of the horses in Revelation in the Bible, it's white, and it says, "I looked, and there before me was a white horse. Its rider held a bow, and he was giving a crown, and he rode out as a conqueror bent on conquest." Many think that the horse is Christ, and others say that it's the Antichrist. But I don't think it's one of the two. But there's something very important here that it's mentioned. It says that he was given a crown and a bow, but he wasn't given an arrow. This means that the horse conquered the world, took control over the world, but without war. For example, the health system, the health organization. They took control over the world, over the whole world with the pandemic, and to force people to do what they said without needing to make war. Is the pandemic, COVID-19, that rode out as a conquered bent on conquest. Let's also remember that it says that he was giving a crown. This is very important. The horse was giving a crown. So we have the horse that was giving a bow with no arrow. So he entered and took control over the world without war. But he was also given a crown. And in Latin, crown is coronam. In Spanish is corona. So the horse was giving a crown, a corona. You get it? A corona. Coronavirus. And it says that he was giving a crown, not that he had a crown on his head. He was giving a crown. He was giving a corona. In Revelation 13:16 says, "It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name." What it says right here, it's also very important, because it's saying that no one can buy or sell unless they have the mark of the beast. And in these days, we cannot go to a supermarket to buy, or we cannot go to work to sell unless we have our face masks. Also, God says that the mark will be placed on the right hand or on the forehead. So with the pandemic, with COVID, they have to take our temperatures every time we enter a public place. And where do they take our temperature? Mostly in our right hand or in our forehead. I even took a video at work to show you guys how they put a thermometer on the wall to take our temperature electronically before entering to work. This is why it is important to know the signals, to read the Bible, so we can know what's gonna come up next. So we know the signals and we know if we're in the last days or not. And in this case, we are. In my case, I don't trust the vaccine because it is, or it might be, the mark of the beast. And if it's not, it's the start. So they're preparing the way of the mark of the beast. They're paving the way for the mark of the beast. They're getting us used to this new lifestyle so that little by little, they will introduce us to the mark of the beast. Now, I'm going to show you a video of a lady in Canada who is saying that vaccination, it's not mandatory, but it is.
There are really two categories of people. One are the people that don't want to receive the vaccine at all, under no circumstances. That's their choice. This is not going to be a mandatory campaign. It will be voluntary. There may be some restrictions that may be placed on people that don't have vaccines for travel purposes, to be able to go to theaters and other places. But that will be up to the individual person to decide whether they want to receive the vaccine to be able to do these things or not. But it is voluntary.
She's saying that the vaccine is not mandatory, but those who don't have it might face some restrictions. She's basically forcing us to receive the vaccine. It's just stupid because we wear face masks to protect others, and the vaccine is to protect ourselves. If there are 54 people in a room and only 50 are vaccinated and the other 4 are not, it's going to be under their own risk, because if those 4 people get infected, they will not infect the other 50 because they're already vaccinated. So those 4 people will die, but they won't affect others. So it's stupid that they want to make it mandatory, because it's under our own risk. We decide if we want to take it or not. We're the ones that are going to be affected by it if we take it or not. Unless there's something tricky going in there, and that's why they want to force us. Something they're planning. They want to control us. Indeed, they've been doing it for the past year. Now in Israel, they're giving out a green pass. This green pass is given to those who have been vaccinated to be able to go to places, enter the mall, gyms, supermarkets. So to be able to live their lives how they used to before the pandemic. And how do you do this? How do you live your life like you used to before the pandemic? Well, getting this green pass. And how do you get this green pass? By getting vaccinated. So you cannot buy or sell without this green pass. and they're saying that it's not mandatory, but by not letting you enter some places, they're basically forcing you. Now in Revelation 16:2 says that there will fall a noisome and grievous sore upon the man which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. So there will be other viruses coming up that will affect only those who got vaccinated, that will affect only those who received the mark of the beast. Well, if you don't know about this, there's a new disease coming up. I think they named it Disease X. Well, they believe this disease is worse than COVID. And people have said that this disease might affect people who got the COVID vaccine. So when I heard about this, I was like, wow. So in the Bible says that people who receive the mark of the beast will come to them a grievous sore. So now there's a new disease coming up that will only affect those who had the vaccine. Coincidence? I don't think so. Another thing that I want to tell you is that it looks like the Antichrist, it's already in Israel. I know this is crazy. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. Like, I don't know if it's the real Antichrist or not, because there has been a lot of false messiahs. And in the Bible, Christ says it. He says that there will come false messiahs, false Christ, saying that they're the Christ, but the end is not near. But I've heard that there's new messiahs in Israel, and it catch my attention because of what I'm about to tell you right now. So his name is Hiskiyahu ben David. I don't know how to say it in English. It's like Hiskiyahu ben David. And they already joined him as king. So in Israel, they believe that he is a messiah because he comes from the father's side of Judah, David, and Solomon. So this is something huge because like I explained it to you in the last video, title is a Pope the Antichrist. We know that the Antichrist must come from the father's side of Judah, Solomon, and David, like Jesus, because Satan is going to copy God in everything. The Jews don't believe that Jesus is the Messiah because even though Jesus is Jews are still waiting for their Messiahs. So if this new Messiah comes out, they're going to be the first ones to believe in him. So I'm gonna take you a video right here of this man. I'm not gonna put subtitles. I'm just going to explain to you what he's saying. So he's saying what I just told you, that Hiskiyahu ben David is the Messiah, is the real Messiah, because he comes from the father's side of Judah, David, Solomon, and all of that. And one thing that catch my attention is that later on he uploaded another video saying that Hiskiyahu died. So I was like, what? And then you go into the video and he's saying that he had a dream that God told him that Hiskiyahu ben David was going to die. And he also says to not worry because that he will resurrect like Jesus did. When I finished his video, I felt like he was being sarcastic in what Christians believe in, you know? What if he wasn't? What if he was telling the truth? So then he uploaded another video saying that he already died and that he resurrected. I don't know, it's just crazy. But one thing that catches my attention here is that if he is the Antichrist, it can be possible that he's gonna resurrect. That's what's gonna happen with the Antichrist. And we can see this in Revelation 13:3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. So it's saying right here that the Antichrist is going to die and resurrect, and that everyone's going to be like, wow, and that's when they're going to follow him. So probably after this, if he is the Antichrist and he dies and he resurrects, that's when this is going to be shocking to everyone around the world, and some people are going to believe and follow him. So that's interesting. It's very interesting because it's also going along with the prophecies. But I don't know if he's just an imposter or if he is the real Antichrist. So we don't know. I mean, even the Antichrist is an imposter because he's not the real Messiah. One thing that we must take into account is that when Jesus was born, the star of Bethlehem, which I explained this in the past video called Is the Pope the Antichrist? I think I explained this, but in case I didn't, or in case you didn't watch that video, so the star of Bethlehem came to the wise man, right, when Jesus was born. So one thing is that on December 21st, I believe, the star of Bethlehem came again. I don't know if you guys knew about this. So this is a sign that the Antichrist was born, or that he's already here and we're just waiting for him to appear. And then months later, this Hiskiyahu ben David came like out of nowhere, and just people in Israel claim him as the Messiah. And then all these signals that this guy is talking about. So it's very interesting. It's something that we must watch out for, you know? And even if the Antichrist is not Hiskiyahu ben David, it's someone else who is already here. Like I said, because of the star of Bethlehem that came out on December. And he will come out soon because of all the things that are happening in Israel. The prophecies are like boiling right now. So to conclude this video, I just want to tell you guys that what we have to do in these days is to focus on our hearts and forgive people who have hurt us in order to be forgiven by God. And we know that Christ died for us and gave us eternal life. But it is also important to know that how he says in our Father, we have to forgive those who offend us so that God forgives us. We have to be good people of heart. It is of no use not smoking or not drinking if your heart is full of hate, envy, evil, and that you harm your neighbor or you speak ill of him. We have to be accountable to God because the end is coming. And well, that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you like it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And also don't forget to click on the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a video. And also don't forget to share this video so it can be a blessing to others. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!